of you on here can explain this to me. I have my own apartment right now. Boyfriend is still living with his parents, but we've been talking about him maybe moving in with me. Every single time I tell someone this, their immediate reaction, he better be paying part of the rent. You're not just gonna pay the whole rent. Why is that the immediate reaction? My boyfriend, when he does have money, he will buy me anything I want. He is not stingy about spending his money on me. Right now, we're at the point where I'm making money where I can pay the whole rent, and he needs to work on his career. And everyone's just saying, like, no, he needs to pay. When he gets paid, sends me girlfriend tax money. He has no problem giving me money. I don't think it makes sense for him to pay right now. He's probably still gonna force it on me, like he's just gonna Venmo me money. Tell me why that is everyone's immediate thought.
Sure. The reason that everybody's asking that question is because they love you. Because they care about you. And they don't want to see you taken advantage of by a person that could potentially be using you for the free labor that you can provide for him, the free housing that you can provide for him, and the bills that you can cover for him. Seen one too many times situations of men who move in with women who are able to pay for their own bills, who are able to pay for their own rent, who are able to look after themselves and take clear advantage of that. And before they know it, the women who were paying for all their bills, paying for all their rent, because they could end up taking on not only every single one of the financial responsibilities in the house, but every single one of the logistical responsibilities in the house. Cooking, the cleaning, the laundry, every single thing falls on them. You may have one of those good guys who are ready to pitch in, but even in the fact that he's living in his parents' house does tend to send off alarm bells in the mornings. What is he like? Is he a man-child? Is he somebody whose mum chases after him, clean up after him? Or is he somebody who actually contributes to his parents' house? These are questions that you need to know. The fact that you're able to afford rent does not preclude him from doing what he's supposed to do, both as a man and a human being walking on this earth. Girlfriend tax, he gives you money, he's not stingy, he's generous whenever you ask for something. What if you don't ask? And this is all on his terms at this point. When you ask for something, he'll give it to you. When he wants to give it to you, he'll give it to you. I'm not saying clear boundaries as to how this is expected to work when you live together. You're actually missing an opportunity, and you could be shooting this up in the foot. Because then you kind of leave it wide open for him to decide to contribute whenever he wants to. And sure, that's worked up until now because you don't live together. You're not taking on the entirety of his living expenses. You'll find those little things that he does for you, those girlfriend taxes, that little $20, $50, however much he throws you on an occasional basis, doesn't really stack up much when you're looking at a whole month's worth of expenses. This whole idea that it makes sense to you for him to focus on his career, for why? For what? Are you married? Engaged at least? No, he's your boyfriend. So why are you shouldering the expenses whilst he focuses on his career? To what end? Marriage is no guarantee. At least that's a bit more of a guarantee than just being an ordinary girlfriend. I don't know how long you've been together. I don't know what he's like. I don't know anything outside of the information that you provided in your post. If my girlfriend came to me with such a proposal, my first question is, what is he paying for? What is he expecting to do? Where is he living now? And why is it that he has not even broached the subject of how much he's going to pay for you? Talking about moving in together means you planned this. So what are his plans? What are his intentions going forward? I've seen some of these posts up where these men talk about women who are not there forever. They're just a stopgap. They're just somewhere for them to sleep. They're homosexuals. I'm not saying that's the case here. We don't know this. People in your life whose first response is, what is he going to pay? Hang on to those people. They love you and they're speaking sense.
Like, you can't advise anyone who has had a man's fluid inside her body. Like, no. Like, you cannot advise about that man ever. No, it's not gonna work. I feel like it's quite ridiculous because often than not, they're gonna side with that person because of what? The fluids. The words, you know, the things that he be saying. I didn't have anything to say, which is weird out of me. Because I feel like you cannot advise such women. The minute she made that video, she already made up her mind about what she's going to do, with who she's going to do it with. And she already concluded about anything else becomes like we are trying to block her happiness. We don't want her to be happy because she has chose people who has advised her. And she's not acting on it. Why? Because she has the man's fluids inside of her. Her words, at this point, even her own intuition is not kicking in. Sorry.
Well, short answer, I think people in her life are just looking out for her. This isn't just exclusive to men. If someone is going to be living with you, they should be paying their way. Now, I know people talk about 50-50 all of the time, but she's trying to create an equitable situation for both her and her boyfriend. She wants him to be able to work on his career. I'm not sure what his career is. So she doesn't want him to have this stress of having to pay bills. Now, I think people's problem with that is there's potential for him to take advantage of the situation. So people are just concerned, but she's the one that knows her boyfriend the best. I do think it's great that people in her life are showing so much concern, but if you're living with someone, you have to pay your way. But good on her for saying she doesn't really expect much from.
Okay, so there's a video by a young lady named Michelle Sky on here. White girl, cute, love it. Very Lululemon fish. Walking to her car, getting in her car, asking the people, you know, my boyfriend, he lives with his parents, I think Miss Mama's already lives on her own. They're dating. He's not in the most stable financial place. Miss Mama sees herself as she is. He's on the journey to getting to his success. And they want to move in together. And she's asking everyone, like, why is the first thing that people say when I say I want to move in with my partner, you know, make sure that he's paying rent. And Miss Mama's is like, you know, are the girls jaded? You know, are y'all just used to people not doing things for you? And she went on to explain, you know, he sends sends me random cash apps and he does things. And when he has it, he takes care of things. And people in the comments of thousands of people are like, baby girl, don't do it. And I'm not stitching it because respectfully, if I get my likes and views, I want my coins to come to me. And so stitching it, I'm not about to, that's one way that I protect Black power and Black creativity is by, yeah. Two, I want, this conversation is for Black girls. In all definition of girls. What that white lady is talking about ain't got shit to do with you. I think this is a canon event that all girls have to go through, but sometimes it does work different for the white girls, especially white girls who be with white men. And from the way it sounds and the way she moves, I think she with a white man. That being said, I said don't do it, baby girl, because I'm telling you don't do it as well. It's not about not supporting a man. It's not about not being a support system for a man. What it's about is what you think it means for you to take up the slack right now for him to be on the journey to his best self. What I mean is, in my experience, auntie, because sis, at 43, I'm telling you, I spent a lot of my life doing things for men, thinking that me holding them down at their worst would ensure, one, at minimum, when they had nothing else, loyalty. And then when they got the things that I was supporting them to get to, that it meant that, yes, would reap the benefit, but not necessarily reap the benefit from a capitalist space, but I would have a partner that we were building together. If two people are not building and they don't both, can I make a Lego tower with someone if I'm the only one with Lego blocks? Yeah, they're watching. Babe, that tower looks amazing. But I made the Lego tower. Now, we may share custody of the Lego tower. They may enjoy the Lego tower, but I made it. And they may benefit from it. We may put in a competition and put both our names on it. We win. And then he's like, you know what? I didn't ask you to put my name on this. I didn't ask you to do these things. And then you hit that moment where you have regret, you have animosity, you have anger, you have frustration because you made a silent contract in your head of what showing up for this man was going to mean for you and him. It is nothing wrong with loving somebody and being through the trenches with them. But make sure y'all both in the same space in the trenches. When they talk about the trenches, y'all both on food stamps. Y'all both catching the bus. Y'all both making the same amount. That's coming through the trenches. Coming through the trenches together is not you making $100K and him making $10 an hour. He ain't got no outfit, so you done bought him a wardrobe so y'all can walk the red carpet together. This bitch, I'm telling you my story. Because at the end of the day, none of that shit matters. And if you're gonna do something out of the kindness in your heart. You wanna help him with the rent? I'm looking out for you. I'm donating. This is a donation. Recognize that you're making a non-tax deductible donation. Recognize that you low-key are being a nonprofit. And ask yourself, would he do the same thing for you? I'll never forget my ex. In our dating, he bought me some perfume for Valentine's Day. And he had this habit of buying flowers because he knew I liked flowers. And I remember one day he was like, I've never bought flowers this much for anybody. And I was just like, oh, these niggas don't be doing nothing. These niggas don't have to do nothing. Yeah, he should be sending you random cash apps because that means that he ain't got shit any other time. So then who is floating your relationship? Yes, it's a canon event, but we got to talk about it because when the realization comes together, if we don't talk about it, the girls will think that they are alone, and that's how these motherfuckers will gaslight these girls because they won't have people in solidarity of saying, no, bitch, this is what these motherfuckers do. This is what these motherfuckers do. In closing, I want you to ask yourself, for the man who's going to jump on here talking about, yes, women, this, and the third, how many men do you know that have a woman living with them that they're not married to, they don't have children with, that does not work, and the woman is living in the house, the woman is there all day, the woman is driving their car, the woman is using their things? How many men do you know that are in that position? Compared to women, how many women do you know, or you've known, or you've witnessed, or you have been that woman, where you don't have children with this man, you're not married to this man, but this man is being able to exist off of your existence? I just want some data, because I'm not a hater, but I'm a realist. Don't do it. When that nigga pulls up to your house, make him leave his book bag on the porch. Not only could he have roaches, he's going to try to establish...
Women who are trying to warn you are not trying to be haters. They're trying to keep you from becoming a Barbara the Builder. Too often, women have built men up from scratch. They were on their Nara Smith. Okay, giving him a place to stay, buying his underwear, helping him through school. And when that man got on his feet, and when he was in a position to get his dream girl, he replaced her and went and did exactly that. Some women think if they could do everything for a man, be everything to that man, then as a reward, he will pick them. And that is what we call pick-me behavior. We all started off in our parents' house, but you found a way to make it on your own. Why can't he? Why do you feel like it's your job and your responsibility to help him with his career? He's your partner, not your project. It's not your job to fix him up. If you think that as a result of all of this, you're going to earn yourself a ring, then you are auditioning for that man, and they're trying to caution you against that. Too many women have wasted years of their lives, all of their money, given up on their dreams, all of that just to build this man up. And you don't always get a loyal man in return. Some men love you and some men love what you could do for them. If you ever question if a man is using you for your money or if he's using you for what you could do for him, stop doing everything and see if he changes.